Hi, my name is Jordan Korfman, and this is my discussion into my findings of the Marbury v. Madison case. The biggest change from prior to this court case was that previously the Supreme Court did not have the power of judicial review. Judicial review is the ability of the court to declare a legislative or executive act in violation of the Constitution. Previously, the Supreme Court did not have the power to overrule laws made by Congress, but with judicial review, they are able to overrule acts of Congress along with the president if they are found to be unconstitutional. There are several significant aspects to the Marbury v. Madison case. The first one that I found to be significant was the fact that Adams was able to elect 17 officials and representatives before Jefferson took office and promised them jobs. I also found it to be very interesting how once Jefferson and his Secretary of State, James Madison, took office, they were able to refuse these commissions to these men and not offer them the positions that they were promised. The next thing that I found to be interesting was that when it was taken to the Supreme Court, Marbury sued based off of the Judiciary Act of 1789, which gave the Supreme Court original jurisdiction to issue writs of mandamus, which are legal orders compelling government officials to act in accordance with the law. With this being said, it was also very interesting how the Chief Justice Marshall said that he did agree that Marbury did have the right to have this position. However, that he said that this was a Congress-made law that was not backed up by the Constitution at all, and therefore the Supreme Court could not rule on it. This court case definitely does still impact our lives today, primarily from the establishment of judicial review, which is still heavily present within the Supreme Court. The establishment of judicial review definitely gave the Supreme Court the right to declare laws unconstitutional and also overrule Congress along with the president, which kind of made it be an equal partner in government, which is definitely shown today, considering the fact that being that it can overrule Congress, it is one of the highest levels of authority within the country. Personally, I can't really think of anything that I would change about this case to make it more relevant to the 21st century. I think that even though it was established many years ago and the situation today would have been very different, it still came out with a very important outcome that is still heavily present within the government today. I think that coming with a solution of judicial review is extremely important, and without it, Congress would have too much reigning power to make decisions and create laws without any regard to the Constitution or being held responsible. And I think that with the Supreme Court ruling this, it does lead to them holding Congress and the president responsible, along with setting the checks and balances system in order today, which I think is very useful and very necessary to the country. Thank you for listening. That is the conclusion of what I found in regard to the case of Marbury versus Madison.